And a great thing for you guys also to do is, we do this a lot in animation school. Sometimes, animation is all about movement, and the thing is, animation is it's also all about exaggeration. And sometimes, like, you walk out of your cube and you see your classmates doing crazy things, it's because they're acting it out, And it's the same thing for drawing. Like, if you have like a sister, your mom, she can't do anything, whatever, your dog, like get them to pose for you. The dog might be a little harder, but the idea is like I said, with deconstruct, I can look at Ian and I can see the structure underneath, you know what I mean? And I'm like, Ian, can you please, do this for me? He'll do it, and then I can draw him real quick. Because, like I said, most of us are average. On average, most of us are the same in terms of proportion. So don't feel, if you're confused, just do it. Be like, hey sis, can you pose like this for me, so I can look at your finger. We do that at Guy all the time.
This totally takes the pressure off too, because then people might be all saying like, no, I don't want you to draw. Just say, no, I'm just looking for some gesture, just some ideas. It'll really take the pressure off, and it'll get them involved. I think that art in its way, even just drawing, leads in a way to dance, leads to martial arts, leads to being able to enjoy life, because then you'll want to know what it feels like so that you can put it in your drawing.
There's nothing wrong with references. Get help from outside, from around you.
You know that drawing back at the table? You said, who drew that, Ian? And I said, I drew that. And it's that girl with the hat,
Yes.
Back when I was at home, I was doing this.
So, it's the same thing for expressions. The great thing about anime is that they're so expressive. Characters because it's so much detail in the face. All that is the same. We all have the same thing. You can make your faces. Look in the mirror, make your faces, and draw. It's a really great way to ultimately get whatever references you need. All you need is yourself, essentially. You just gotta get over the whole, I'm so conscious, draw myself. And don't worry about that. Who cares? So yeah. Any other questions? Topics?
When I try to draw guys, they always seem to end up having a nail. So how do I make a nail kind of torso?
So the other thing, the subject of anime. One big question I get a lot is, why do you guys look so girly? And I'm like, but they're bishies. They're not girls, they're bishies. There's a difference, And that, to me, that's a very cultural thing. In America, you don't. There's a lot of the whole metrosexual styles coming in nowadays, especially in Hollywood and stuff. But generally, bishies, pretty boys, it's a very Asian concept, right? But ultimately, it's kind of the same. So, if Ian draws, if we draw like, how do we approve the subject? Let me see.
So let's start with the female form.
Yeah, start with the female
I
form.
start with the female form because I also am more comfortable drawing females.
Me too. That's why my guys are girly.
So when I start drawing my female form, I'm going straight for these head, oval-y shaped things. So head 1, half head. Head 2, half head. Head 2, or head 3, the hips. And then from there, it's like, I can already start setting in my mind. When you're doing gesture, they don't have to be straight. In fact, those curves, they really help set up a sense of character and mood. But from here, you can see that, the female form is naturally supposed to be more curvy. And when you do this, this is when, those curves, they really start to fill out, and this is when it's really building up the sense of a woman. But for drawing a man.
So here's a man, kind of. But, you guys see the difference, right? Like, if we go over a few characteristics of men, in terms of drawing men, men, are a little bit angular than women. Women are very, and you can see that here. Women are curves, men are angles, basically. And the same thing applies to boobs, man boobs, whatever, except maybe not man boobs, but, if you look at them, like
for a woman, it would be like in and round. But then for a man, it's like,
they're a little more, this comes down to the exaggeration thing again. You have to exaggerate a little bit. Of course, there's guys with really round faces, but ultimately, men tend to have slightly blockier faces, square jaws, square or pointy, for a little more feminine look. Men also have wider necks. That's really important right here. When you give a dude a slim neck, it doesn't look a dude, So, I know that's kind of really, it's hard to generalize, but like I said, these are just very basic fundamentals. So, wider neck, Men, oh, here's another good one.
Men will also have, traditionally they'll have like straight coming right down here. The torso goes right into the leg,
Here we go.
whereas
So,
the women will flare out.
So if you look at this, men tend to have wider and broader chests and slimmer legs. In general, women, we have our curves right here and right here. You know, and therefore, you guys always hear about like the hourglass shape, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's basically the same thing. So you want to keep basically it's a bunch of these little rules put together that kind of give the essence of man.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Thank you.
So just pick them up one rule at a time until it's manly enough for you.
Okay.
But